Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Braja Janardan Yasodanandana Braja Janardan Yamuna Tira Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Braja Janarandana Yasodanandana Braja Janarandana Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shirate Jai Radha Gopinata Radha Gopinata Shirate Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Shirate Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Go Hari Go, Hari Go, Hari Go, Go Hari Go. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Srimad Gopal Krishna Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschachadishatarine Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjanasalakaya Chaksurundilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Pada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakam Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanespari Visabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we continue reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, the Saman Bonam, chapter 77, Lord Krishna slays Salva, text number 33. Maybe we can put down a little bit, it's too much echo. Yes. This is the last verse that has a purport on this chapter, and we're going to finish the whole chapter now. So we'll read up to text 37, and then tomorrow you'll start a new chapter, the killing of Dantavakra, Vidurata, and Romaharsan. It's a lot of killings here. Text 33. Tang sastrapugai praharantang ojasa salbang sarai sorir amogha vikrama vidoba chinadvarma danoshiramani Saubam cha sastror gadayorurujaha tam sastra pughai praharantamojasa salvam sarai sorir amogra vikrama vidvachinodvarma dano siromani Saubam cha sastror gudayarurujaha Tam sastra pugai praharang tamojasa Salvam sarai sorir amogha vikrama Vidvachinadvarma dano sirumani Saubam sasastror gudayarurujaha Somebody else? Tamsastapughai praharam tamojasa Shabam sarai sorirambogha vikrama Vidvachina dharma dano shiromani Vidvachinodvarma dano shiromani So word for word meaning Tam, him, Shastra of weapons, Pugai with torrents, Praharantam attacking, Ojasa with great force, Salvam, Salva, Sarai with his arrows, Sauri of Lord Krishna, Amogha, never exhibited in vain. Vikrama, whose prowess, Vidva, piercing, Achinat, he broke, Varma, the armor, Danuhu, the bow, Shira, on the head, Manim, the jewel, Shobham, the Soba vehicle, Cha, and Shatro of his enemy, Gudaya with his club, Rurujo, he broke. Ha, indeed. Translation and purport by disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. While Salva continued to hurl torrents of weapons at him with great force, Lord Krishna, whose prowess never fails, shot his arrows at Salva, wounding him and shattering his armor, bow and crest jewel. Then, with his club, the Lord smashed his enemy's Sobha airship. Everybody please repeat. While Salva continued to hurl torrents of weapons at him with great force, Lord Krishna, whose prowess never fails, shot his arrows at Salva, wounding him and shattering him, his armor, bow, and crest jewel. Then with his club, the Lord smashed his enemies' Soba ship, Soba airship. This is a very powerful airship. Purport. Srila Prabhupada writes, that means this is in the Krishna book. They copied or duplicated in the purport. Srila Prabhupada writes, when Salva thought that Krishna had been bewildered by his mystic representations, he became encouraged and began to attack the Lord with greater strength and energy by showering volumes of arrows upon him. But the enthusiasm of Salva can be compared to the speedy march of flies into a fire. Lord Krishna, by hurling his arrows with unfathomable strength, injured Salva, whose armor, bow, and jeweled helmet all scattered into pieces. With a crashing blow from Krishna's club, Salva's wonderful airplane burst into pieces and fell into the sea. The fact that Salva's insignificant mystic power could not bewilder Lord Krishna is here emphatically demonstrated. I'll continue reading till text 37, just the translation. Shattered into thousands of pieces by Lord Krishna's club, the Soba airship plummeted into the water. Salva abandoned it, stationed himself on the ground, took up his club and rushed toward Lord Achyuta. As Salva rushed at him, the Lord shot a bala dart and cut off his arm that he held the club. Having finally decided to kill Salva, Krishna then raised his Sudarshan disc weapon, which resembled the sun at the time of universal annihilation. The brilliantly shining Lord appeared like the easternmost mountain bearing the rising sun. Employing his disc, Lord Hari removed that great magician's head with its earrings and crown, just as Purandar had used his thunderbolt to cut off Britra's head. Seeing this, all of Salva's followers cried out, "Alas! Alas!" With the sinful Salva now dead and his Sauva airship destroyed, the heavens resounded with kettle drums played by groups of demigods. Then Dantavakra, wanting to avenge the death of his friends, furiously attacked the Lord. Thus end the purports of the humble servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to the 10th canto, 77th chapter of the Srimad Bhagvatam, entitled Lord Krishna Slays the Demon Shalva. Tam sastapugai praharam tangojasa salvam saraisorir amogha vikrama Vidha vichanad barma dano siromanim Sauvam chasastror gadaya rurujaha. So finally, the lights are off. And again, it's on. Finally, the episode of Salva, the demon, is ended here. This Salva is a mystic power. Most of the demons have this mystic power due to their austerities and penance. Somehow, the demigod, Lord Shiva, usually gives this benediction. Because Lord Shiva has been known as Ashutosh, easily pleased, especially by the demons who would like to perform austerities for some ulterior motive, specifically for their own benefit, and ultimately to destroy anyone or anybody who will go on their path. And somehow this Salva is a good friend of another demon called Shishupal. Now Shishupal is a cousin, relative of Lord Krishna. That somehow, at the time of birth of Shishupal, there was a voice who told his mother that the first person who will have darshan of your child will be the cause of his death. And so the first person who came to visit and have darshan of Shishupal is none other than Lord Krishna. And knowingly now that Krishna will be the cause of the death of her son, the mother asked to give some chance to Shishupal to live a little longer. And therefore, a benediction was given. Oh, it's not a benediction, it's a doom. Because that will be the end of his life. That up to 100 insults. No more than that. And after that, that's it. He will not be able to live any longer. So Shishupal was continuously, as much as possible, whenever he has a chance, he will insult Lord Krishna. That even at the time of Rajasuya sacrifice, Lord Krishna was the first person in Rajasuya sacrifice, the most senior or the person who is supposed to get the first worship should be the most senior, the most realized, the most respected, the most worshipable. And they have concluded that Lord Krishna is the right person. But Sisipal was there, and 99 was over. So he was saying, who is this person? You don't even know who is he. We cannot even tell whether he's a Vaishya or a Satriya, because now he's living in Dwarka with 16,108 queens. So you cannot tell. How can you be sure that he is due for the first worship? So many were against Shishupal by that time because he was insulting Lord Krishna. And just to stop Shishupal from continuously doing so, because blasphemy of the devotee and the Lord is detrimental to our spiritual life. The Lord cannot take the insults of his devotees. The Lord can take the insult for himself, but the other devotees who are around at that time of sacrifice, they cannot take the insults of the Lord. So to stop the whole commotion, the chakra was released and cut the head of Shishupal. And Salva was there. Salva was there. He said that this is not proper. So he avenged. That means he took a vow to wipe out the whole Vrishni dynasty, all the followers and all the family members of Lord Krishna. And so he took that opportunity while Lord Krishna was still in Hastinapur. That he came along, Salva came along with his army and with his very, very special airplane. Now, this airplane is not an ordinary airplane. He got this airplane with the help of the engineer also of the demigods, Maya, Danava, by the instruction of Lord Shiva. He wanted to have an airplane, Shalva, that will not be destroyed by any man, by any beast, by any rakshasas, by any demigods. But he forgot to ask a benediction that it will not be also destroyed by Lord Vishnu. That was the main problem here. Like Hiranyakashipu also asked for the boon, but Lord Krishna is very tricky. That when Hiranyakashipu asked for a boon from Lord Brahma says, oh, you don't want to die, but I am also going to die. Everyone is going to die. Jai Sisi Gornitai, Guru Parampara Ki Jai, Sisi Radhamara, Lalita Bisaka, Sisi Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ki Jai. So even though Lord Brahma has 311 trillion years to live, he's still going to die. We're trying to figure out how many is a trillion. It's a lot. A billion is a lot also. A billion is 100 crores, right? And trillion is much more. So practically eternal life, but still it'll end. So Salva here, because he wanted to avenge, he took a vow to really, I'm going to wipe out all of these family members of Krishna. He's the cause of death of my friend. If you have a friend, even in a normal situation, the material world, you wanted to take side of him, even though he's in a wrong side, because you're good friends till death, do or die. So Salva, because of his demoniac nature, he's very envious at the same time, especially when um, Lord Krishna took Rukmini hmm, at the time of her wedding, hmm? Because Shishupal liked to have Rukmini as his wife. But then Lord Krishna received a letter from Rukmini saying that, please take me, I want to be with you, I want to marry you. And Satriya is like that. Anyone who takes shelter or asks for protection, then the Satriya is ready to protect. So in Rakshasa style wedding, there are different kinds of wedding. Rakshasa means eloping, you're taking away, even though against the family or the parents of the bride, the groom will take away forcefully. Hmm? That when Lord Krishna came, he is like walking. Says that he's walking like an elephant, baby elephant though, baby elephant, very graciously. And when he took away Rukmini, no one was complaining. Only when they rode in the chariot, then everyone was like shocked. Hey, what happened? So Salva, he really didn't like Krishna in that way. So with the help of his very powerful airship, which is like a city. Nowadays, we've seen many reported they've seen these UFOs, unidentified flying objects in the sky, which is made of material things like metal in different shapes, sometimes triangular, sometimes roundish, and they can go really fast. With a blink of an eye, it can go like really fast, like the speed of light. Hmm? They can hover around, they can go up and down. It's like our normal airship or airplane before it takes off. It goes like this. And then when it lands, it goes like this. But these special planes, this is what they've seen, reported, although also, it can go up and down and go like this, in any ways, any directions. But this airship of Salva airship is more powerful. It's like a city, so big that it can carry thousands and thousands of soldiers. Um, who's that? Another person? Kardama Muni. Kardama Muni also has an airplane that can travel all over the universe. And there's mountains, there are trees, there are plants, there are waterfalls. Hmm? You've never heard of this in the modern day technology, even though they said that it is high tech technology. So it's more advanced, the Vedic civilization, and still the demigods also, they are riding on airplanes. They're watching what's going on. Even while Krishna is still in Vrindavan as a young boy, playing with his cowherd boyfriends, with the gopis, as a young boy up to 11 years old, the demigods also, they were also watching, observing what's going on. That even Lord Brahma somehow became inquisitive. What's going on? Why there's so much commotion, so much singing and playing of musical instruments? And then he found out that there is this young boy who is the center of attraction, that everyone is so attracted to. And he tried to figure out that this boy, there must be something special on him. So let me do some trick on him. Let me steal his cowherd boyfriends and his cows and yes. By doing so, let me see what he can do. But he didn't know. Yeah, he has some mystic power, Lord Brahma. He has some mystic power to multiply multiply different cowherd boys and also the calves through his mystic power, this trick. And let me see what this boy will do. So he didn't know actually that Krishna himself again multiplied as many as cowherd boys and calves. And also left there in that place the same cowherd boys and calves himself. So every day he will go back and forth, but at the same time he says there are three types of cowherd boys. The one that Lord Brahma took, that is a different expansion than the ones that Lord Krishna expanded and also left behind for 1 year. So he tricked Lord Brahma. So now here, Salva is very good in tricks. He has some mystic power that while fighting, when he came, he fought with the different members, family members of Lord Krishna, the Vrishni dynasty, that everyone was so much in fear, everyone was so much scared that they actually run after their lives. But somehow or other, they were warned also. They were warned, the family members, so therefore they prepared themselves in such a way that they had a fierce fighting amongst each other. It's like the demigods is compared to demigods and the demons fighting in the heavenly planets in Swargaloka. Now, somehow or other, Lord Krishna, prior to this verse, he heard. He was shooting arrows, different arrows towards the enemies, almost shattered everything, but still Salva was able to made his tricks. So much so that sometimes this Sobha airship will be multiplied many times, like hundreds of them. And then it'll become one, and then suddenly it'll disappear. It cannot really for an ordinary person to see something like this, he'll be bewildered. So in a sense, because Lord Krishna is playing a role of a human, and therefore he was also astonished. This is the difference between our understanding of God, who He is, and the understanding of the Supreme Lord in other schools or religions. God is not a robot. It's like we are humans. So it says that we are made from the image of God. So there are emotions that we have, and Krishna has emotions also. Krishna sometimes gets angry, gets upset, laments. If someone says God cannot be angry. No, if his devotees are getting into trouble and being harmed, he can be angered. He can be upset. Especially in this episode, due to the trick of Salva, somehow or other, he arranged in such a way that there was a man appeared and told Krishna that his father Vasudeva was caught by Salva, and he was like imprisoned, taken away, being dragged by Salva. So Lord Krishna was thinking, oh no, how did this happen? So he was like very disturbed. So one can say, a foolish person can say, if Krishna is God, how can he be disturbed? How can be so concerned? That's the way Krishna is. And some of the those who are comparing Krishna to themselves and they want to enjoy like Krishna, they want to take part also in a dance with many girls, like Krishna dancing with many young girls in the rasa dance. Those who are seeing these pastimes of the Supreme Lord, Krishna dancing, it's like in Vrindavan, we're in that part now of the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, the 5 chapters, where the Lord meets the gopis and preparing for the rasa dance. And you are way ahead of us. You're in chapter 77. We're only in chapter 29. So, I mean, in India, yes, temples, they go 10th canto, 11th canto, 12th canto. In America, not many temples are going up to that part. But now I'm seeing that many are also going beyond the 13th chapter, where Srila Prabhupada has commented the stealing of the cowherd boys and the calves. It's, in a sense, it's good because then we'll be able to read the whole Srimad Bhagavatam and discuss it. It has to be discussed in a proper perspective, unlike others who doesn't start from the very beginning of the first canto of the first chapter and they jump immediately to the text or chapter 29, 29, 28. Is it 28 starts and 28, right? 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Yes, starts and 28 chapter. They will not want to hear the fightings of Lord Krishna like this one. They will consider this. No, 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 no. We want to go Krishna's dancing with the gopis. Or they don't want to hear the Bhagavad Gita. But we read Bhagavad Gita every day. As Prabhupada says, there's no difference between Krishna's dancing with the gopis and Krishna's fighting with the demons, or in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, because Krishna is absolute. So here in this way, Salva was thinking that, by doing this trick to tell that Vasudeva, the father of Krishna, has been taken away by myself, then I'm going to make him weak. And then I'll be able to defeat him. And if I defeat him, then everyone will be devastated. Everyone will be annihilated. So somehow or other, Salva appeared and dragging Vasudeva and cut his head. Though this is like an apparition. It is not really. It's a trick. It's not real. But in the eyes of Lord Krishna, it looks like it is real. But then he's the Supreme Lord, so he knew what's going on. So therefore, Salva's trick failed. And then now is the time to end his atrocious mentality, to smash him and to smash his airship Soha. The Lord Krishna, in his Vasudeva form, he uses these different weapons, chakra or club. Not in Vrindavan. Krishna will kill a demon with his hands. He will not use any chakra in Vrindavan. Now, Lord Balaram may have a plow, but you don't see Lord Balaram also having a club in Vrindavan. Does he have a club? No. Yes or no? No. Only flute and bugles and some ropes. That's a Vaishya. Only you can see later on that when Lord Balaram was traveling, because during the time of the war in Kurukshetra, he doesn't want to take part, so he was carrying a club. Yes. So everything was shattered, everything into pieces by the use of Lord Krishna's club. Everything. And since this is taking part in Dwarka, so it says that everything fell down to the sea. I've never been to Dwarka. How many of you have been to Dwarka? Yes, very good. Maybe one day we'll go and see Dwarka, ISKCON Dwarka. And yeah, and it says also, right, even right now, the Indian Archaeology Department, they preserve that place where they found a city under the sea, which is none different than Dwarka. No one can go there and do their own personal thing. So it is not a mythology. It is an actual part of the history of the world. And no one can say that this is just mental speculation, this is one's own mind's imagination. And these different killings of different demons or ill-motive personalities, and as Krishna is equal according to the Shastra, they also all attained some kind of liberation. Sayuja, Sayuja Mukti, which means merging into the Brahman effulgence of the Supreme Lord. Well, there is no activities, and at the same time, because there is no activities, then there is no bliss. Then after some time, they take birth again into the material world, and somehow or other, hopefully, they'll be able to develop favorable, loving devotional service towards the Supreme Lord and attain uh, their original position, which is to be either in one of the planets where the Lord resides or have the same feature of the Supreme Lord or have the same opulence of the Supreme Lord and be an eternal associate of the Supreme Lord. So I will stop here. Is there any points or any questions? I know it's very difficult to be listening because of the cold. This is probably one of the coldest day of the winter. Winter is not here yet to go. We'll still be here maybe a couple or 3 weeks more. But this is an austerity to sit down and hear the Bhagavatam at the same time. But somehow we are here, and this is one of the austerities that we perform. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you very much for a wonderful class, Maharaj.
Mm-hmm.
Maharaj, my question is from just one previous verse. So in that, when this happens, when Salva shows this trick of killing
Yeah.
Vasudev, that time Shukadev Goswami writes ki Krishna, even those who take shelter of Krishna, they are beyond bodily concept of life.
Yes.
So how Krishna could be bewildered?
Because
So,
he's playing as a human.
huh,
The pure devotees of the Lord, they cannot be bewildered.
yes,
Yes, they cannot be bewildered. They know what is real and what is. But devotees also, they get affected, but not so much. It's like if someone dies in our family, we cannot just say, oh, it's okay, that's Krishna's arrangement, you know. We get affected inside as well. We may cry. That's allowed. It's like it says that if the spiritual master leaves the body, the disciple should cry. Huh? Because the feeling of separation is unbearable. We cannot say, oh, he's just transcendental. That's okay. He goes somewhere else. I will not be affected. No, we will get affected. Even though we know that we're not this body, we're spirit souls, but at the same time, we are also a person. So Krishna is playing the role of a human person. He knows that this is a trick, but he gets affected in a minute way. In a minute way. But he understood that this is a trick of Salva. Hmm? We should not think that, oh, I'm a devotee of Lord Krishna, so I should not be affected by anything. We are affected, paradukkha dukhi. When we see others' sufferings, we also feel pain, no? When we see others unhappy, we also are unhappy for their suffering. So we wanted to do something about that, give them Krishna consciousness. If we're not going to be affected, then we'll just be concerned about ourselves. Why don't we just go up in the mountain, in the Himalayas, and chant Hare Krishna there? Huh? We can do that, but then Krishna will not be as happy the way we conduct ourselves. Because others, they chose to be like that. They want to be like Babajis. Fine. But we're not in the Babaji mood here. We're Gosti Anandi. Uh, we're concerned about the welfare of everyone. And it starts at home. We should be concerned about each other, help each other. I cannot practice Krishna consciousness by myself. I have to be, seeing also others, whether they're making advancement or not. It's like Devakinandan Prabhu. Hmm? If he is concerned about himself only, then this will not be here today. You will not be sitting here, and I will not be sitting here. Isn't it? So it's normal. It is normal. Just to show. But it is not artificial. Because it could be real also. It could be real that Vasudev's head was cut off. Isn't it? So he played it in that way. He played along. He says, oh no, this is a trick. Then, then where is the emotion there of Supreme Lord? So this is what he called achintya, inconceivable. The Supreme Lord will not be complete if he does not have these emotions on him. The Supreme Lord is complete, is aptaka. We're giving that class in Vrindavan. He's aptaka, he's self-satisfied. So why did he expand himself? Why did he expanded himself into fragmental parts and parcels like us? He doesn't need any service. Now, Devakinandan Prabhu was saying that also this morning. Remember that? That when we serve a pure devotee, it's not the pure devotee gets the benefit. We get the benefit. So when we serve Krishna, Krishna does not get the benefit. He's aptakama, he's completely satisfied. We get the benefit. When we offer obeisances, the Supreme Lord, to Srila Prabhupada, who gets the benefit? We get the benefit, right? So Krishna is like this. He is complete. Om Purnam, Purnamidam, Purnam Budachyate. He's complete, but still as if something is still lacking in him. So to have these different emotions is like ornaments of Lord Krishna. These ornaments, this makes him more God. He's already God, but he becomes more God by having these different emotions. Because he's not a robot. Okay, it's not like God is like in the spiritual world and he just sits there and he doesn't do anything. This is most of the religions, this is their notion, this is their understanding. That God is there only to give blessings. Okay, bless you, and that's it. But in our school of thought, Krishna has so many activities. They cannot understand this, not until they perform bhakti, not until they engage their senses in the service of the Supreme Lord. They will not be able to conceive this. That's why he's inconceivable. Yes, any other points? Is that okay? Any other question? I know what's the next question. When is the prasadam time? Well, everybody knows when is the prasadam time, right? 9 o'clock. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much, everyone, and really nice coming here. I was not planned to come, but somehow I was pulled here. Devakinanda Prabhu asked me to come, and my colleagues also from Vrindavan told me. Therefore, I'm glad that I came to take part for his birthday celebration, because he's a very special soul. Definitely a dedicated soldier in Krishna consciousness. We should try to imbibe and follow in his footsteps. He has a lot of good qualities. We should emulate that into our practice of Krishna consciousness, so that we also become pleased. Srila Prabhupada will be pleased, and our Guru Maharaj will be pleased with our service, and ultimately we'll get mercy from Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada Ki. Killing of Salva Ki. Jai, Hari Bol. Hare
As well
Krishna.
as Bhakti Anugraha Janardan Swami Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.
Hari
Thank you, Maharaj.
Bol.
Wonderful class. And we remember your statement yesterday. You.
What did I say? I forgot already.
I'll remind you, Maharaj. So we'll be waiting for you, your arrival to Kanpur. Please come here and your association.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.